On April 9, 1954, the USPS introduced the Liberty series with the issue of an 8-cent red, white, and blue Statue of Liberty stamp. The Liberty series was first announced in late 1953 as a replacement for the popular Presidential series, which had been in use for 15 years. The new series took its name from the first stamp to be issued, picturing the Statue of Liberty. The Liberty series marked a significant departure from the Presidential series. It included warm portraits rather than hard-profile busts. It also made use of the work of a variety of artists and photographers. Plus, presidents would only make up a small portion of the featured subjects, 7 out of 25 denominations. Additionally, the Liberty series was only planned to utilize 18 denominations, whereas the Presidential series had 32. It turned out many of the presidential denominations were rarely used, so the new series ensured no more than 2 stamps would be needed to pay 60 cents in postage and no more than 3 for up to $1.60. The first stamp in the Liberty series was issued on April 9, 1954. President Dwight Eisenhower presided over a special televised ceremony debuting the stamp, which was the first definitive stamp to include the motto, "In God We Trust." The series included stamps honoring Revolutionary War heroes and statesmen of the 18th century, as well as leaders of the 19th and 20th centuries. The series also featured famous locations important to America's democratic history, such as Bunker Hill, Independence Hall, and the Alamo. The $5 Alexander Hamilton is the key stamp in the series. Due to its high face value, it was used primarily on registered mail, typically to mail money between small post offices and Federal Reserve banks. It is relatively scarce in mint condition. These stamps were also part of an experiment that began in 1954. In previous wet printings, the paper had a moisture content of 15 to 35%. In the experimental dry printings, the paper had a moisture content of 5 to 10%. This process required stiffer, thicker paper, special inks, and greater pressure to force the paper through the plates. Stamps produced by dry printing can be distinguished by whiter paper and higher surface sheen. The stamps feel thicker, and the designs are more pronounced than on wet printings. So the dry printing experiment was a success, and all U.S. postage stamps have been printed by this method since the late 1950s. The Liberty series was issued from 1954 to 1961. It included definitive stamps with denominations ranging from 1/2 cent to $5. It would be the last half-cent definitive stamp issued by the U.S. The Liberty series was generally replaced by the prominent American series beginning in 1965. However, the 2-cent Jefferson and 25-cent Revere coil stamps were reprinted many times and sold well into the 80s.